Hello, Soul Gardeners. Now, I want to do a little segment that talks about how to calculate your rising sign using this series and kind of go into the depth of rising versus solar. In astrology, there's actually two stories always going on in your life. This is actually why horoscopes are hit and miss at times, because one of the two stories may be the one in play or both. First of all, there's your solar story. That is you as an Aquarius or an Aries or a Taurus. The way I look at it is there are 12 states of consciousness. And when you incarnate on the planet, you choose one of these states to be your capital awareness. It's the capital of your ship. And that's what you know as your sun sign. So Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Virgo, etc. Now everything in that state of awareness, in that Aries state of awareness or whatever, is constantly going through its own reconstruction. That vibration is innovating. That vibration is shrinking where Pluto is. That vibration is becoming articulate where Mercury is. The vibration is always in transition. And this is what gives us your horoscope. So because you plug in through Aries or Taurus or Virgo, whatever, you are subjected to the weather of that particular sign. And that really plays out as a lot of the plot of our life. What's going on now, what the current events are, where the drama is, etc. Right? Then you have your natal story, which is determined by your rising sign. Right? So you might have a Virgo rising or a Taurus rising or a Leo rising or whatever. That natal story is your spiritual history. So we are always evolving our spiritual history as we are going through new plots and new storylines with our solar chart. And the way you put the two together is this. Watch Uranus and Aries for your solar chart. That's going to tell you where most of the plot plays out with this transit in the next 7 years and where most of the change will happen. But that change will affect your spiritual history. And that's where you look up your rising sign. So by looking up your rising sign, you will see how the solar chart will affect the spiritual history. So let's say that you are an Aries. All right, let's just say you're an Aries. So as a result, with Uranus in Aries, you'll be going through profound change in your solar chart, right? And you will be doing most of the plot and changes around your ego, around your character. That's where most of the transformation will happen. So you'll have all this ego and character change. Let's say you have a Libra rising. That means that while your character and your ego are transforming themselves, you are simultaneously transforming the history of your marriage, the history of your partnerships, and the history of how you balance your life. And that's how you put the two together. Your ego change will be changing your relationships. You put the two that way. So as the transits go on, you will have the most hard-hitting with personality, and that will affect the history of your relationships, the history of your partnerships. And you put the two together in that sort of way. Now, on some given days, you'll find that a lot of your partnership is what's changing. The history is what's changing. On other astrological days, you will see that it's your ego changing. And this is where two stories are always in play. So look up your rising sign and watch your sun sign and your rising sign for Uranus and Aries. And as we're going through the next year of 2011, 2012, 2013, and so on, note how the two are ping-ponging off each other and how the two relate. All right, we'll see you in the next segment.
So God.